I had trouble going to work this week. It's because of the game. I keep thinking about the game because the game knows me. Even though I played it regularly, the game still knows my personal info, like, how does a character know my name? Maybe I'm just overthinking. Anyways, time for World 3. Kosedacone was way more interesting than I thought. It has more levels and bosses than the previous worlds. The music for this world sounds ominous and has background noises that reminds me of a forest. The levels are beach, pelagic waters, terrestrial forest, rainforest, grand desert, and the last one should be obvious. The bosses are Gezora and Varan. Now, I recognize these monsters. They are both from the original game. I hope the game changes a few bugs and adds more abilities on these monsters. Also note that Varan's icon changed to have pupils on his board sprite. The beach level is what it sounds like, as the name implies. The music sounds like something from a kid's game. The goal for this level is to jump on a body of water, so my bubble mechanic doesn't rapidly decrease. Thankfully there are no enemies for now. Sometimes, I see some seaweed near a body of water. At the end of the level, I see a creature laying in the sand. It has something to say.
This scorching weather, I'm going to die.
I feel bad for you. After that, the level ended. Now time to send Godzilla to the pelagic waters level. On the way there, the beach level had a different layout when I chose Godzilla. This version of the beach level has enemies instead of bodies of water. The enemies were these brown fish creatures that were slow. And they also bite when I get too close. 4 minutes later, I found this skull that resembles the fish enemies from earlier. I think it got burned or eaten to death. Pelagic waters is, you guessed it, an underwater level. The music sounds really calm and serene. The first enemy here was an armored fish that looked like a narwhal. It's pretty easy to deal with. 2 punches and they are gone. The second enemy was a lavender shark that had a light bulb as its head. It mainly attacks me and the armored fish enemy that I talked about previously. This enemy was annoying because it mainly bites and latches on me until I move left and right constantly. At the end of the level, I encountered a mini-boss. A purple evil-looking fish that mainly bites and tail whip. I took it down after 30 seconds. But it didn't give me a life capsule, which is a shame. I haven't used Huradio for any of the bosses. So, I'll pick Huradio to fight Gezora. Huradio is small compared to Gezora and my monster is in a land position, but in this case, the bubble mechanics are gone. Now to Gezora. Gezora looks the same as its game counterpart. So, nothing special to this Gezora for now. What is special about this Gezora is that it can spray an invisible projectile that I can't see, which is annoying. And it didn't take much power. Also note that Gezora's her palette changed to bright cyan instead of red. Now, I have the advantage of this Gezora. I figured out that by spamming the lighting beam, Gezora takes a lot of damage. After Gezora died, something strange happened. Huradio was gone. Is this game playing around with me? Or maybe these levels aren't compatible with Huradio. Only Varan or the challenge level knows about Huradio's absence. Now, onto the terrestrial forest level. This level immediately starts with 3 capsules floating. I'm glad to see free health lying down. The music sounds like an introduction from an adventure story. And it's already my favorite soundtrack for now. After a while, I found a body of water. I wonder what's lurking in the water. A cyan and lime creature that confronts and leaps at me when I get too close. These enemies are pretty annoying since they can jump from the water at random. Sometimes, these creatures don't always come from bodies of water. This game's Varan is pretty identical to the original version of Varan, except no name is shown, which is weird. This Varan acts the same as the original, so no screenshots for now. After his bar was empty, instead of exploding and going to the bottom of the screen, he looked at me. Also, the music stopped. But why? Something's off with him. Why is his pupil gone? After a couple of seconds, it started glitching. Is this some kind of trick the game wants me to know? Also note that the music changed to a dangerous and distorted feeling with a roar every 4 seconds. Wait, is that who I think it is? It's you again. What do you want this time?
You cannot escape that memory.
I don't understand this. Is this some kind of trick? Or is it just showing fear to me? Whatever, I'll go to the rainforest level so I could take my mind off that phenomenon. The rainforest level starts with a tree that has fallen. I think a bigger threat made this mess. And there were barely any plants shown besides the fallen trees and the grass. Also, the music sounds eerie and unsettling. After 15 seconds, I found a lime creature. It has 2 spikes on its back, and it doesn't look too friendly. I said hi and this was its response.
Hey pal, you shouldn't be here.
I want to explore and find new creatures at this level.
Good luck then.
Not a helpful response. After he said that, he walked away. Does this denizen even know about the dangers of this level, or am I just overthinking? Anyways, I'll continue the rainforest level. The first enemy is this red dragonfly that can ignore me. Although in some cases, it can be hostile. Also, they sometimes give health. The second enemy is this green creature that leaps from the water. Now unlike the creature from the terrestrial forest level, these enemies leap into another body of water instead of going to land. They are annoying because they also work like those sharks from the pelagic waters level, except that they are way harder to deal with. At the end of the level, I found this lizard standing on the ground. When I walked in front of the lizard, it started to follow me, which is cute. But I heard the water rumbling after that moment. It's a mini-boss. But this time, it has music, like the mini-boss from Shallow Waters. It looks like a maroon insect that has a lot of legs and has a pair of tentacles. It mainly attacks by swiping its tentacle and shooting acid drops. It was a pretty tough mini-boss. A couple of seconds later, what I didn't expect was the lizard attacking the mini-boss. The lizard's only attack is that it can latch onto the mini-boss in a short amount of time. I guess the lizard isn't as weak as I expected. After 10 seconds of fighting, the mini-boss does something unexpected. The mini-boss had enough of the lizard. So, the mini-boss grabbed the lizard. No matter how many attacks I did to the mini-boss, it wouldn't let go with the lizard. Then, something tragic happened. The mini-boss throws the lizard at me aggressively. When the lizard hit the ground, it exploded. Then, my heart sank with despair. It did a lot of damage to Godzilla. Now, all I needed was revenge on the mini-boss so I could continue my journey. Get the atomic breath in the body, you piece of shit. After that, the mini-boss went to the bottom of the screen. I leveled up and the victory jingle was heard. Gosh, I should go to the pelagic waters level again so I can get my mind off that battle. The west version of the level starts with an ammonite. Once I got too close, it started following me, similar to the lizard on the rainforest level. The first new enemy was this green crocodile that bites me and the ammonite. Unlike the lizard from the rainforest level, it doesn't have any attacks. The last two enemies are a yellow monster that has parts everywhere on its body and a grayish cyan shark that has a buzzsaw for its mouth. Both of these enemies are hard to deal with. The Grand Desert level is the last level type. It has mountains, which is fine and it doesn't look out of place. The music here sounds like a bongo beat every half a second. It also sounds like something from a tribe. The first enemy here is this bluish-gray ugly creature. They don't tend to attack at all, and they usually come in herds. The second enemy is this orange crocodile that attacks me and the previous creature that I talked about. They usually bite and swipe their claws. Halfway through the level, I see these orange crocodiles fighting each other. I guess they are fighting for territory. I'll walk past them and see what happens. Thankfully, those orange crocodiles ignored me, and I can continue this level. I decided to become idle because I want to take some snacks. Or maybe not. The sky is getting dark. Also, the music stopped, like when I quote-unquote defeated Varan. I think that hideous lanky dragon is going to appear again. That damn music plays again. Now what do you want, you fuckface? I am speechless. I think this is just another sentence that doesn't make sense. Maybe when I go to the challenge level, I'll know what it means. As expected, the blank icon changed into the challenge level. With no introduction, let's go to the challenge level. This challenge level starts with binary text and a nuke falling slowly. The hideous lanky dragon wasn't kidding. This must be the end of Kosedacone. The music sounds intense. Also, the background was broken. I wonder where that comes from. The first two enemies are a grey dinosaur that has an eye for its tongue and a flying clock that has an eye. I wonder about the game's obsession with eyes. There's also spikes that drop down. They usually gave a warning for 5 seconds until they came from the sky. Just note that the health and power capsules are replaced by zeros and ones. After 15 seconds of just non-stop fighting enemies from other levels are present. But instead of attacking me, they ran for their lives. Wait, is that Uridio? He came back with a different form. I think that's the reason for Uridio's absence. Uridio helps me defeat enemies easier and its shell is immune to spikes. Also, there is a new enemy, which is a purple blob with 3 eyes. When I reached the end of the challenge level, hordes of enemies chased me. Thankfully, I succeeded to the level before hordes of enemies tried to catch me or Uridio. Sweet, I might try Uridio's new moveset in the next world. I'm not sure how I feel about this game. Plus, what's the memory the hideous lanky dragon mentioned about? Only one way is to make progress in the game. But for now, the best I can do is to take a short break from the game.